quantum biofield healing is a technique to heal the human biofield in order for the body to trigger a powerful immune response and start fixing anything that needs to be fixed in the human body, in the spiritual body, the emotional body, and in the mental body.
Okay.
Human biofield actually is made of basically two models. One is the Auric model, which the aura, most of people knows what it is, and it's like a hard drive where everything is recorded since our day one. The other model is made of subtle energy, and here starts the interesting things, because subtle energy is an energy that can behave either as a wave or as a particle. When it behaves as a particle, it kind of responds to the physical law, kind of respond to physical energy, to time, to space. When it behaves like a wave, like in the case of energy healing, it doesn't respond neither to space nor to time. And this is also the reason why certain healing technique can be performed by distance, because the healing arrives everywhere in no time.
So the idea is so it become more wave than particle. Is that the idea?
Yes, exactly. Okay. They become wave. They behave like a wave rather than particles.
Okay.
And let's use an analogy. Electromagnetic field is one of the force that rules our dimension. Let's do this. Let's say this. Subtle energy is to electromagnetic field, and vapor water is to water. So subtle energy is more diffuse and finer, way finer. So it can get through walls in no time and cover any distance. So this is the reason why when we connect with a client, with a receiver, say in Japan, while I'm in Toronto, it happens exactly as it's happening between you and me in this moment while we're talking.
Okay, that's fascinating. And that's one of the things I want to touch on, because I've had a lot of Reiki practitioners on and they talk about distant healing, but this really kind of it actually explains what the idea of distant healing is in a more scientific way.
It explained very well. There are the most important thing to understand is entrainment and entanglement. There are two rules in quantum physics.
Okay, let's talk about that first. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So entanglement is the rule that say that when two objects start exchanging energy, they tend to vibrate at the same frequency rate. Meaning that in this very moment, my biofield and your biofield are communicating, are exchanging information, a huge amount of information between you and me. So the same thing happened with the energy healing. When I connect with my clients, my biofield clients start raising his frequency rate in order to match my biofield frequency rate. This is the reason why every healer needs to keep his biofield in good standing, up and running. This is the role of entrainment. The role of entanglement is a little bit different, because it says that there was an experiment. So if we create two coins from the same chunk of metal, one coin is in Toronto, one is in Moscow. We start flipping these coins at the same time. What are the chances that this coin shows different faces out of 1,000 trial? It's about 50%, right? Yep. And it's not. It's 70. It's more than 70. Because they're born from the same chunk of metal. So they communicate via subtle energy to each other. And they communicate in instantaneously their position.
That's really interesting. So in that case, So, but that being said, they came from the same piece of metal. So they had the same physical properties of it. So they're both communicating on a subtle level.
They both could. Exactly.
So that being said, so we're basically, we're acting very similar to our parents in some ways. We get a lot of that same material. Because when I was thinking about that, it's like I had this light bulb go off. It's like, obviously we come from them. So obviously we're getting the same type of patterning information, same reactions.
There is also an energy and a genetic in energy where we inherit their emotions. We inherit their mental attitude or issues. And this is something very typical. For instance, anxiety is something that we can inherit from our parents, grandparents, or ancestors. You know, that kind of anxiety that is coming out from nowhere, you have no idea where it comes from, is because you probably inherited that anxiety and it traveled to a frequency which doesn't really belong to your biofield. So sometimes it's very hard to deal with this kind of anxiety because it doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
And this is an energetic inheritance.
Yeah, it's so fascinating.
I'm pretty much sure most of our audience knows what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, I so believe that. I know myself because I'm listening to that. I'm going, yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. Yep, I feel that. And the thing is too is I'm also a psychic empath too as well. So I pick up everything. So I not only have my stuff I'm picking up, I pick up other people's stuff too and their emotions. But now it really kind of makes sense. And now it really kind of hits home to why I am the way I am. And it's such a simple analogy, like the two coins, like it just that light bulb moment came off.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's so
can you imagine, I mean, the amount of communication that there is between two twins, independently by their position on the planet or in the universe, they keep communicating all the time. It's as seamless. It's a seamless communication. They communicate all the time because they are entangled.